From the songs that you sing to the drink that you drink. Miss your mama, worry about your babies, and love each other like crazy.
That's country music star Brad Paisley playing his song Same Here in Kyiv, Ukraine. Paisley wrote the song to mark the first anniversary of the war and to raise money for the charity United 24 to help build housing for the people of Ukraine whose homes have been destroyed by Putin's war. Brad Paisley has just returned from Ukraine along with a bipartisan group of U.S. senators. And while there, he met with President Zelensky. And Brad is back with us now. Brad, great to see you.
I'm glad to be back talking to you. What a week.
I bet. So what was it like to play that song, to play Same Here in Kyiv?
It's really surreal. About a year ago, I remember hearing about the invasion from Mark Kelly, Senator Kelly, who I've known a long time. And he had texted me about something and said later on that evening that they were being invaded. And to fast forward a year, to be on a train with him, rolling into a station in Kyiv, about to see it for the first time with my own eyes, it's really something that I never would have imagined in a million years getting to do. And then to stand there with this song and to sing it in front of this, the remnants of things that have been bombed, and as well as surrounded by people that are living their lives in spite of the air raid sirens. I don't know how I was able to even do that without breaking down emotionally. I didn't break down till I got back, and then I did.
So what were your impressions being in Kyiv of how it is more than a year later since the war began?
I think the main thing that I was left with is that I don't know what I was expecting, whether I thought I'd get off the train and see just buildings that were rubble, and it's not necessarily like that. They have fixed things immediately. Like there were a couple of young women that worked for United 24 that as soon as I got there, the senators went to a top secret briefing, and I went for a couple of hours and tried to sightsee, sing the song in some places, do some filming, and meet some people that I'd been working with. And these girls that were showing me around were so excited to show me their city in the same way that somebody would who lives in Paris. And meanwhile, but they had sources of pride that are beyond anything any of us have ever gone through. They were showing me an intersection that during rush hour traffic had been hit with a missile and left a 20-foot crater. And on her phone, she was showing me what it looked like that day. And then they had it fixed 4 days later, and the stoplights worked again, and cars were driving, and they just went back to living. And I've never seen defiant life. Just absolutely. They were going to restaurants. We were in armored cars going around the city prior to going to the presidential area to say hello and do some more meetings there. And I'm looking out the window at school kids in raincoats with backpacks going home, walking up the street after school. And I guess, I don't know what I thought I'd see, but I guess that's what you do, right? You live your life in between the sirens.
I guess, but I would say that just hearing you describe it and everything that we've heard about the Ukrainian people over the past year, their resiliency does seem to be in a different league. They just seem to be stronger than any of us can imagine. And so Brad, what was it like to meet with President Zelensky?
Well, it's pretty surreal because there's an honesty and a humility to him that is sort of, it's disarming in the sense that the amount of weight on his shoulders at this point is probably just inconceivable to all of us. But the man was an actor and a comedian, and I haven't sat down and talked to somebody that seemed any more genuine. So it's an interesting thing to see him rise to this. I feel like this is a strange situation where it's almost like he was the one guy that could do this or something. And I think the thing, though, that I saw in all of it really was every single person from him on down was thanking me as an American citizen. Thank you. Tell the people of America thank you. And also, another aspect of it that I was left with more than anything, they just want to be us so bad. They want this. They want everything that we take for granted.
Meaning freedom.
Oh yeah, as well as the fact that they really, they had it for a minute. They were getting there. They had, when I was driving around the city, there's a Nike store. There's restaurants open. People are doing these things, and they don't want to go back to whatever it was before. They want to be a free nation and a democracy at all costs.
Last time you were here, our friend Frank Luntz, one of our panelists, offered you $10,000 for the charity if you would have coffee with him. Has that happened?
Yes. It has not happened yet. So he did reach out, and he said, tell me where to write the check. And I'm going to do that as soon as I can be in the same city as him. He's also fascinating. I want to pick his brain and see the stories he must have, right? I mean, you know a few of them.
Oh, for sure. The conversation between you two, I wasn't kidding that I'm going to be at the next table with like a menu listening in, because I think it'll be a great meeting between the two of you, and I'm glad that that's still happening. So, Brad.
I think you should be there for sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell Frank that that's a must. Brad, it's great to see you. It's great to hear all about this, and
Great to see you.
Great inspirational travel that you've done there and sharing it with us, and we really appreciate it, and we look forward to what's next.
Thank you. And thanks to the senators, Senator Manchin, Senator Murkowski, Senator Kelly, for taking me with them. They didn't have to, but I think they just wanted free entertainment. It was very nice of them.
That's very cool. And anytime we can say a bipartisan group of senators did something, that's also very cool.
Well, they introduced me as the largest constituency among them, which was really nice. I'm not elected to anything.
That's awesome. Brad, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Next, some of our favorite reporters join me to give us the lowdown on the biggest stories that they are covering for tomorrow. We've got the latest.